Thank you for all joining this session. In today's session, I'll be taking you through the best-in-class wireless experience which is built in on an AP by Cisco Solutions. So my name is Avinash Salian. I'm the product sales specialist for Ian. And the today's topic, ideally, I would be covering some key aspects, which includes intelligent AP solution, a little bit of overview around this, Cisco's Mobility Express solution, and the new embedded wireless controller, which is the intelligent AP that we have launched recently. During this session, if you have any questions, request you to please put it on the chat panel and we would be able to answer you. Post the session, we'll again open up the session for questions. So please, during the sessions or after the sessions, please, if you have any questions, put it in the chat panel. We should be able to help you there. So I will quickly start with the session today. What I wanted to explain was, if you look at how the industry has changed, a few years back, if we thought of, or in fact, I would say even a couple of years back, if you thought of going out on road to any location, the best mode of transport, at least in India, would be a taxi or a rickshaw. Now we know how unpredictable it is in terms of they may accept or deny it, right? There was all possibility that you may end up, taking a different mode of transport, because getting a taxi for a specific location and the guy knowing the location was also difficult. Same experience is with buying vegetables. You have to go to the shop, look at specific thing, buy it, or maybe in that case, even videos. If you want to watch a specific video, we have to go to the library, search for that, either on a DVD or a VCD section, and then buy it. These were the only options which were available a couple of years back. But what we're seeing now is that this trend has completely changed. Everything is going mobile. So look at the experience. I mean, like I said, for taxis, today we can't expect going out of home without having an app of either Uber or an Ola on our mobile devices. It has made our life very easy. Just look at how are we booking the cars today. I go out, I put a destination, and I'm 100% sure the driver who's reaching out will be able to help me with the location and help me to reach that specific location on time. That's how the trend has changed. Same way is with groceries or with shopping, vegetables, any kind of shopping. We can do it online, and those will be delivered to your doorstep. Look at the experience of watching a video. Even that has changed. We are expecting all those movies to be watched sitting at home rather than going to a theater. Right? We're expecting to watch Netflix, things like Amazon Prime, Hotstar, and all these movies, all the series are available for us any point of time. That's the way we have changed the kind of experience that we're having. That's the disruption that is coming today. And what we are saying is this disruption is the new normal, expected to increase further. Expect more and more digitization to happen. So the most important question is, what happens with digitization? The most simple thing is more digitization means more mobile devices, more handsets. More handsets means requirement of more mobility. And that's where technologies like Wi-Fi solution makes a lot of sense today. If you see, if you take that example and put it as an experience now, what we have observed is in 2020, the expectation is roughly by end of 2020, roughly 26.3 billion network devices would be there connecting to the network. 46% of all network devices would be having communicating machine to machine. That's the kind of expectation we are having. A device talking to another device. Maybe you're sending an information. Maybe there is some high-end applications which you're accessing or in office. So the device-to-device communication is going to increase. Having this means IT needs to have a reliable network, a more predictable network. If I'm talking about a business, right, a small business, a medium-sized business, we need to have this high reliable network, but that has to be in a decent cost, not too expensive, but also the expectation is to have an enterprise class wireless, purely because unlike few years back, the way we're using Wi-Fi has changed. We're not expecting to just browse internet. What we're trying now, we are doing is we're accessing high-end applications. More and more clients are connecting to the same network. Just imagine the way we used to browse earlier. If I take an example of a small office, maybe the office had 30 people sitting in it. But today, we don't consider as 30 people connecting on Wi-Fi. We assume around 90 devices connecting on Wi-Fi. Purely because the way you're browsing the Wi-Fi has changed. I myself have 4 devices connecting on Wi-Fi: my iPad, my laptop, my iPhone, even a watch for that matters, or any smart IoT devices. So on an average, you can take a consideration of at least 3 devices connecting over the network. So that's the way the scale has increased. And with the scale, the expectation to have an enterprise class wireless has changed. Gone are the days where you can buy any standard wireless and put it at home. The expectation now, in an office at least, is to have an enterprise class wireless so that it can manage that kind of density and the performance requirement that you have. And again, the most important thing which is driving all this is, like I said, applications. We are accessing applications for any form of requirement that we have. Applications for doing a WebEx, application to chat with another person, applications to view videos. Anything we are doing is over an application. And as we know, applications are on mobile devices. And hence, that's like a cascading effect. More and more applications means more and more mobile devices, means the requirement of mobility increases, and in short, the demand of wireless increases. That's how the network is changing. And the problem is we have to keep pace with all this ever-changing demand. Now, like I said, for a small and medium enterprise, the biggest challenge is how do I do a fast deployment? Requirement is not just basic Wi-Fi. Requirement is the wireless should be connected and the network should be up in minutes. And most importantly, it should be easily to set up and manage. Purely because the IT team in most of the small to medium size environments, customer environments are not big. You're not expecting a big IT force to help there. So maybe there are 2 or 3 couple of users or a couple of IT guys who are managing the entire setup. And to manage this business, maybe a distributed business, you would need ideally a setup which should be simple. Plug and play and forget it. That's the kind of network you would require. But again, the most important factor that comes in for such kind of deployments is cost. The device which you're buying should be in budget, right? But being in budget, you would not still want to take away the enterprise class features that are there in the product. You would need that feature actually, or the APs actually, to deliver the high performance that is expected for today's applications. So what I'm trying to say is you need a system which is fast, you need a system which is cost effective, and most importantly, you need a system which is enterprise class and which should be able to handle the demands of today's wireless network without having huge impact in terms of the cost. So what has Cisco done today is with Cisco now, we have launched the next generation of intelligent access points, which have the controllers built in on the AP level itself. What I mean to say is you don't require a hardware controller for a medium to small setup. And I'll explain what's the scalability of the network. But in a very nutshell, we have built a controller on an access point, which helps you to bring up a network faster, because gone are the days that you need a person to manage or to deploy a controller, physical controller. It's a simple plug and play access point deployment, which is very fast. At the same time, because now we don't have the hardware controller requirement, the cost of the entire solution also reduces drastically. And the third and most important thing, the devices or the access points that we're talking here are the same access points which work with the controller based solution. So what I mean to say is a device which is the next generation Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi 5 and the Wi-Fi 6 technology on an AP. That's the kind of thing Cisco is able to address with an intelligent AP based controller. Let us look at what this intelligent AP based solution is. If you look at the solution, or if you look at the architecture of this entire solution, it's fairly simple. You can run more than 100 access points without a controller in your network. So just imagine today you want to build an office. It can be an entire building or a couple of buildings which are part of the same L2 domain or L2 network. You would not require to buy a hardware, controller hardware at your network. You can set up the entire network just with access points. And all these access points talk to each other and build a cluster. And that's what I'm saying. You can build a cluster up to 100 APs without a requirement of a physical controller. The most important thing is the simplicity of deployment. It's fairly easy. It's just a 3-step configuration with either using a mobile app or using a web UI. It's that simple. A single 3 steps, within 3 steps, your network would be up and all your devices would be able to connect to the Wi-Fi. It's that simple. Unlike in a controller-based network where you need to design the entire setup, you need to manage the entire controller, you need to create the entire policies. This becomes fairly simple. For a simple design, just plug and play. The UI is very simple. When you log into the console of the controller, what I'm saying here is, like the controller, you have access to a GUI through which you can monitor, manage, and troubleshoot the entire network. You get the same experience like you're getting on a physical controller on this AP-based network as well. The entire dashboard is available for you to monitor, to manage, to make changes, and as well as troubleshoot. All the enterprise class features like redundancy, like visibility, security, scalability, everything is there with this model. So we are not compromising with the network. This is not a network which is designed for a very small end network. This is a network which is equivalent to an enterprise class controller based deployment, but gives you the flexibility to not buy a controller on day one and just deploy the APs in a very low cost but an enterprise grade manner. And the best part is, as and when you have the budget, these same access points can talk to your hardware controller just with the help of additional probable licenses sometimes, and make or build your network to an enterprise grade network. So what we are telling here is the solution that Cisco provides with an intelligent AP is a solution which is future scalable. Solution in which I just buy the access point today and build a network, and as and when the number of access point goes more than 100, or if you want to deploy a hardware physical controller, just buy the controller from Cisco, and these APs can talk to the controller and become a controller based AP. So that's the way we have built this architecture, which makes the entire solution future scalable. And hence we call this solution an enterprise grade solution, which is simple and fast, which is flexible for deployment, and has the entire enterprise class features built in. Now let us look at how this architecture works. We spoke about intelligent architecture. Let us look at how this design works in a simple network. Let us assume this is a small office where you have a physical Cisco switch connected. The only thing you require is the access point, like I mentioned earlier. The first AP that you connect to this switch comes up and elects itself as a preferred master or as a master AP. In a normal term, it detects itself as a controller. And once it is configured, it starts broadcasting the SSID. So I'll repeat, connect the access point to the network, bring it up, and within 3 steps, the AP starts broadcasting the SSID in the network. So now you have an AP which is running live. What you need to do next is you have to connect the next set of Mobility Express APs just on the switch. No configurations required. All the other APs which are connected on the same L2 network will connect to the preferred master and works seamlessly as a slave AP. So this is how the controller based, similar to controller based, where you have a controller and AP connects, It talks to the controllers and downloads the configuration. Similar to that, in intelligent AP based network as well, all the other APs will download the configurations from the master AP, which we call it as preferred master, and start broadcasting the SSID like the master AP. The best part is the master AP itself will be broadcasting the SSID, connecting to the clients, and also working like a controller. And this you can scale up to 100 APs, like I mentioned, in few other models. Now let us assume if the master fails. The best part is another AP in the network immediately takes over as a master, or it elects itself as a master, and the remaining APs will connect to the master AP and work seamlessly. Nine APs fail, you're still one AP will still continue to work as a master. That's how the network has been designed. Unlike a controller, we just have a master standby. Here you have an N level of redundancy available, and that's why we call it as the always on, highly available network. So we have two solutions today in the intelligent AP based controller solution. So one is what we call it as a mobility express architecture, and the other is the embedded wireless controller. The mobility express architecture is a solution in which we can connect all our Wi-Fi 5 APs, which is we call it as a .11 AC APs into the solution. It works on our erstwhile AirOS OS. It is very simple to configure, like I showed earlier, and it helps you to build a fast IT network. And it's ideally meant for a small to a medium-sized network. But if a customer wants, or if you want to build a network which is of next generation, which has the next generation Wi-Fi 6 built in, Cisco has a next generation architecture for it, which we call it as an embedded wireless controller. Similar to Mobility Express, it also works without a controller. But the good part is it has the APs which are Wi-Fi 6, which acts like a controller and gives you higher performance. It's been aesthetically designed or redesigned, I would say, for a next generation enterprise network. And similar to a Mobility Express, it is simple, it is easy, but it is more reliable and provides you more security for building the next generation enterprise. So let us start with first, what's a Mobility Express, and we'll come to the next generation embedded wireless solution after this. So we understood the architecture of an intelligent AP. Now let us understand which APs can actually work in a Mobility Express architecture. If you guys are familiar with the solution that Cisco has multiple access point at the .11 AC architecture or Wi-Fi 5 solution. And if I broadly divide it, we have three series or three generations. The 1800 series, the 28, the 38, and there is a 4800 which is not visible on the screen. And we have the outdoor APs as well. Today, we can build a cluster of up to 50 APs in this intelligent AP architecture on an 1800 series AP. And the rest of the higher end models, which is 2800, 3800s, or a 4800s, or even a 1562 outdoor AP, we can build a cluster of up to 100. Beg my pardon, in the outdoor AP is still 50. I'm talking about an high-end indoor AP, which is 28, 38, and 48. You can build a cluster of 100. Let's look at the models. Like I said, the 1800 series is meant for a small to medium-sized deployment, whereas a 2800 and 3800 APs have specific features built on it, like next-generation RF intelligence with functionality called as Clean Air, and functionalities like dual 5 GHz, which makes it a mission-critical and high-density AP. And these APs can now handle more than around 50 APs, that is up to 100 APs in a cluster, and you can have more than 2000 clients connecting to the same network. When it comes to outdoor, again, you have two APs in Cisco, 1540 and 1560. The 1540 series can build in a cluster of 50 APs in the network, whereas a 1560 can go up to 100 APs in a cluster. And the good part is you can mix and match these APs. You can mix the 1800 series with the 2800 series or with the outdoor AP and build a cluster. Now let's come to the next generation wireless, because now you understand the Mobility Express. Like, I want to reiterate, simple architecture, but the Mobility Express works only on a older generation Wi-Fi 5 architecture. But if you want the next generation Wi-Fi 6, that's where the next generation wireless come to picture. Before even we come to the embedded wireless controller discussion, I'll just show you why the need of Wi-Fi 6 or the new APs have come in today. The reason we have come up with a Wi-Fi 6 architecture is because of the three things that you see on the screen. First and foremost, people are looking today at immersive experiences. With immersive experiences, what I mean to say is applications like which gives you 4K and 8K kind of video quality. Applications like augmented reality and virtual reality, which really require very high bandwidth, more than 20 Mbps of bandwidth per device. And as such, if multiple such device connected to the network, your existing network of a Wi-Fi 5 or a Wi-Fi 4 environment will not work accurately as per your requirement. The second thing which has changed is IoT. More and more IoT devices getting connected to the network. In fact, we are expecting by 2022, more than 50% of devices that get connected to your network would be IoT devices. And the challenge with the IoT devices is battery life. Because if you look at a normal operation of a Wi-Fi, if you open a mobile device, every 100 milliseconds, it will try to connect to a new device. And that's why you will see that there is a hourglass coming every 100 milliseconds in your device. What it means is, by doing this, by searching for a new device, it is consuming battery. And the same thing used to happen with IoT, because of which the battery life of the IoT devices were not great when connected over a Wi-Fi. And we needed a change to come for this design. And the Wi-Fi 5 was not equipped with it. The third thing is attackers and security. We needed a better security on the current architecture, because even a WPA2 kind of encryption which came with Wi-Fi 2 was possible for someone to hack into it. It was difficult, but it was still possible. We needed next generation of security. That's when the Wi-Fi Alliance came with the next generation of architecture or next generation of Wi-Fi solution, which we call it as Wi-Fi 6. So as you must be aware, we used to call Wi-Fi in a different nomenclature. We used to call it as .11b, G, A, G, N. To make it more simpler in the industry, it was renamed like your 3G, 4G networks into generations. So the first generation Wi-Fi is called Wi-Fi 1, and the latest generation of Wi-Fi is called Wi-Fi 6. We call Wi-Fi 6 in different names. If you hear words like .11ax or Wi-Fi 6 or high efficiency wireless, all of them mean the same. And with Wi-Fi 6 now, we're expecting high performance as well. We're expecting more speed, 3 to 4 times more speed. Minimum 5.2 Gbps on the smaller access point, and can scale up to 9.2 Gbps on a bigger access point as well. With this architecture, now you can work with applications which are latency sensitive. It gives you reduced latency. It helps you to increase the range and gives you better density and capacity to connect more clients. And the best part is it's also power efficient. The example which I gave for IoT is that it is consuming more battery with the older generation. Now with Wi-Fi 6, what can happen is these IoT devices can connect to the network. They can negotiate the time till the time they want to be, if they didn't want to be woken up, and they will go to sleep after that. They will not send any beacon after that. So if an IoT device connects to the Wi-Fi device, it will negotiate the time. For example, I don't wake me up for another 1 hour. And post that, it will be connected, but will not send any new beacon, ensuring that the battery life of the device is safe. And what Cisco does now is we make it even better with our Wi-Fi solution, along with the embedded wireless controller. So let us now as we understand Wi-Fi 6, let's come to the architecture of embedded wireless controller and how we have built it with the new Cisco APs. First and most important thing what we did with the embedded wireless controller is the change of OS. If you guys have worked with Cisco, you would understand that our switching had launched, in our switching, we had launched a new OS functionality with the power of iOS XE. It had brought a lot of advantages on a switching portfolio. And what we have done now is we have migrated that entire switching benefit of the OS into the controllers. So our new 9800 controllers have all these iOS XE features, which helps you to build a new modular application within the controller and the next generation solution on the controller level with new RF innovations. And this OS, because it is flexible, because of its deployment flexibility, we can deploy this in multiple flavors. We of course have the hardware-based controllers, but the same OS can now be built on an AP, and which we call it as an embedded wireless controller. So the OS of the controller is now on the access point. The next generation iOS XE is there with the embedded wireless controller. So with this iOS XE now, we're building the next generation modern OS, which is scalable, which is open, and it is programmable. It supports telemetry as well. It supports advanced set of features, which is meant for high availability. You can upgrade this entire network without bringing the network down. When I'm saying upgrade, you can upgrade the OS of the AP with some small security patches without requiring the network to go down. We have the next generation wireless IPS also working with the access point today. Today we have the entire functionality of security, which is increased to next level by integration of Cisco's Umbrella solution. Deployment, like I mentioned, is completely flexible. You can deploy this entire network of embedded wireless controller either using the web UI or a mobile app or the Cisco's DNA Center, an appliance to manage and monitor the entire network. And the best part, like I said, it is completely having an investment protection for you, because you can migrate these same access points to a controller-based architecture if you need in any future time or even now, just by buying a hardware. Let's look at the benefits. What are the benefits of these EWC, or the embedded wireless controller, which we call, for the enterprise branch deployment? If you look at EWC, we call it as the most resilient AP in the network. The reason is it provides a completely different level of redundancy or architecture. Like an embedded wireless controller, unlike I would say the embedded the Mobility Express solution, the embedded wireless controller gives you a different design. Here I can, like a hardware controller, I can define AP as an active and a standby AP. Any point of time, two APs would be acting like a controller, similar to a controller-based architecture. And if the master controller or the active controller fails, or active AP fails, the other AP takes over in less than 10 seconds. And within that 10 seconds, the network is live. The access points are connected, all the access points are connected, all the clients are connected, and there is no downtime at the client level as well. We support smart software patching as well, without the hardware controller or the AP going down. Like I mentioned, these APs are the next generation secure APs. And that's why we call the Cisco embedded wireless as the next generation access points, because they're the most secure AP today in the industry. It not only provides you rogue AP kind of protection, detection, and mitigation, it provides you the next generation advanced webs, which we call it as adaptive webs, at the AP level itself. We have functionalities like wall garden and DNS blocking built in on the embedded architecture, which you had on the controller-based architecture. And now, with the integration of Cisco Umbrella, we bring the cloud delivered security right at the doorstep of your APs itself, which gives you more security. And the good thing is the simplicity of design. Like I mentioned earlier, a simple way of monitoring it with configuring it with a web UI, or monitoring it with a dashboard, or deploying it very simply with plug and play with a DNX center. And if you need to build it a further entire software defined architecture, we also have the open APIs. It is completely programmable with netconf or YANG model. That's how scalable and that's how secure and resilient embedded wireless controller is today. Let me go a little bit more in depth on what resiliency means. When we say resiliency, what we mean to say is, unlike the other architectures or any other vendors today, which have a controller-less architecture, Cisco now can work like a hardware controller in the network. Any point of time, like I mentioned earlier, you will have two APs live in an active and standby format. And as soon as the active fails, the standby will take over within less than 10 seconds. And during that period, like I mentioned, all the APs would be live, all the clients would be live. And similar to the 9800 controllers in Cisco, which supports features like hot patching and cold patching, my APs will not restart when a software is updated. And I will show you in the coming slides. What does it mean? So like I mentioned, in high availability, this is just a pictorial view to show how it works. The embedded wireless controller is an always on network purely because of the iOS XE architecture that we have built in. The clients would be always on. They will never go down, even if the master AP goes down. And like I mentioned earlier, the downtime for the service of a master AP not being available is less than 10 seconds. And even when the master AP is not available, the network is up. Like I said, even if the master fails, another AP in the architecture immediately detects itself as a master, and it will allocate another AP in the environment on the base of algorithm as a standby AP. That's how quickly the network would be up, or the services would be up. The network is always up. Second, as I mentioned, with the software upgrades, today we support seamless software upgrades. An update patch, for example, a new software, a security patch is available today, and you want to deploy it in your existing wireless network. If it is not an EWC architecture, the problem is as soon as you deploy this software update, the controller or the physical AP restart, resulting in the entire network getting restart. The clients gets disconnected. There is a downtime for a few minutes, and then the clients will connect back. Here with the seamless software upgrades, you don't even require the network to restart. A small patch can be deployed with the entire network being up. Just imagine there is a new update for a specific AP model, a specific access model, like a service pack in your Windows. You can just apply it on the network. Those APs will be patched without the network getting restarted. And the most important is device pack. Let us assume there's a new Wi-Fi AP which is Cisco has launched, and you are introducing that to the network. You don't have to restart the network, because ideally what happens with the new AP, new OS comes in. Here, this new OS is like a device pack. We install a device pack, the network is still live and up and running. That's how seamless the software upgrade is on the EWC access points. And like I said, a very flexible deployment method deployed through a web UI, a DNS center, appliance of Cisco, or maybe with any SDN architecture, like maybe an OpenFlow or SDN controllers. It also works with tools like Puppet. So because the reason is we have a complete open API available, which is completely interoperable with any standard-based networks. This gives you a quick view of the over-the-air provisioning that I mentioned earlier. Either a Cisco app, which is available on a Google Play or an App Store, or a web UI, and the network is up and running within 10 minutes. So Cisco has a range of access points that we have launched on the Wi-Fi 6 portfolio, and all these APs today are supported on our embedded wireless controller. Similar to our older APs, which is our Wi-Fi 5 APs, the Wi-Fi 6 APs are also classified as a medium-sized AP, which is our 9115 and 9117, and the mission critical and best in grade APs, which is 9120 and 9130. And as you see, the scalability also is same. Like the 9115 and 9117 can build a cluster of 50 APs together, whereas the 9120 and 9130 can build a 100 AP cluster together without requirement of hardware controller. The reason the 9120 and 9130 is different is now because it comes with a specific chipset, which we call it as RF ASIC, which builds a next generation spectrum intelligence for your network, which helps you to understand your RF environment better, detect interference better. And once you detect that, we can also inform or notify the users about it. So for example, if you detect a device which is trying to emulate like a mobile device, we can send it information back to our security solutions like StealthWatch. We can block that device before even coming to the network. That's the kind of scalability we support, security we support with the next generation 9120 and 9130 access points. Hence, we call it as the best in class performance APs today in the wireless industry. And like I mentioned, the security in the embedded wireless is altogether a different league compared to any vendors. So first and foremost, like I said, we integrated the Cisco umbrella, which was erstwhile OpenDNS, with the access point. We today support identity-based PSK as well on the embedded wireless controller. When it comes to securing the air, we have the adaptive WIPs as a part of the architecture. Rogue detection, classification, and containment is by default there with the embedded wireless controller. And we also have the next generation clean air and spectrum intelligence now on the AP level itself. The APs also support .2next, AAA device profiling, and features like wall garden and post-auth DNS and ACLs. These are the kind of features which makes the EWC a very highly secured access point. The best part is you can build the cluster with an older AP also. That means you can have a Wi-Fi 6 AP and you can plug in a Wi-Fi 5 AP to the network to build a cluster. So it's not that only Wi-Fi 6 work on a cluster. EWC also supports a Wi-Fi 5 when a Wi-Fi 6 AP is already there in the network. And this embedded wireless controller now, or whether if it's a Mobility Express or embedded wireless controller, can be deployed in a different fashion. You can deploy an embedded wireless controller in a single office. You can deploy these APs for distributed office, like maybe multiple branches, or maybe a distributed enterprise, which includes a campus and multiple small branch offices. So on a campus, you can run a hardware controller, and in your distributed environments, you can put the embedded wireless controller, all of them managed by central DNACS appliance, making your enterprise deployment a completely enterprise grade deployment with and completely a Wi-Fi 6 environment. So hence we call this design as the next generation Wi-Fi design. And like I mentioned, it is meant for a single or a multi-site environment. Either it can be a medium-sized enterprise or even a large-sized enterprise. Anyone can look at deploying an embedded wireless controller in the network. If you look at, we have got lot of references, lot of customers who have actually tested these APs, and they have given us fantastic responses. There are few who have called this AP a great mid-size business access point, a robust access point on an AP, on a network. A controller, a device which is meant ideal for a medium or small size business. And today with embedded wireless, we have built it for the enterprise class business as well. So be it a medium or a large business, anyone can go for an embedded wireless controller and build an enterprise network without having a physical controller. Let me show you a classic use case with Cisco's own network. In our campus, in one of our building 24 in Bangalore, we are running the intelligent AP architecture at a scale in which we have deployed the entire network with 100 access points, with all access points now connecting to the same in a cluster without a physical hardware, and more than 900 clients connecting to it on 2 SSIDs. With features like application visibility control, where you can detect the applications which are connected on the network, and local profiling, all of them enabled. With this, we have been running this from more than, the screen which is mentioned here is older. In fact, we are running it for more than 5 to 6 months live on the network with an embedded wireless architecture without hardware controller requirement. And that's the benefit of having the intelligent AP scale. So we physically use it before we even recommend it to our customers. And if you want, we can give you a tour of these buildings as well, which is in our Bangalore, to actually feel it, the experience of an embedded wireless controller in a large setup. Like I wanted to reiterate, we are doing what we are claiming. We do have a setup of 100 APs live working on Cisco environment itself with all those clients connected live, and all of the people who are connecting to this Wi-Fi environment is our engineering guys who are doing high-end testings using the same embedded wireless network without a controller. So in a summary, if I want to build a nutshell of what is the intelligent access point, what it means is an AP which has a controller functionality built in. Almost all the features of a controller are available on this access point. We have two models, like I mentioned, either a Mobility Express architecture or an embedded wireless controller today. Mobility Express architecture meant for medium to small density environments, whereas an embedded wireless controller, because of the virtue of iOS XE and the next generation Wi-Fi 6 APs, this can be deployed on an enterprise grade network. And both these solutions, which is the ME and EWC, are fast and easy to deploy. You can bring up the network in minutes. They work on the latest Wi-Fi 6, which is the embedded wireless controller works on Wi-Fi 6, whereas the Mobility Express now works on Wi-Fi 5 technology. And they are meant to build a completely enterprise class reliability, advanced reliability for a smaller network as well. Like I mentioned, the Mobility Express is meant for an ideal branch solution, whereas an embedded wireless controller can be deployed on a campus as well, where the number of AP requirements are lesser. And as of today, you would not want to go with a hardware-based controller. You can deploy the EWC architecture, and as and when you have the budget, you can add the hardware controller, and these same embedded wireless controller become a controller-based AP. So with this, guys, I am at the end of the session. Hope the session was fruitful. You can now unmute yourself, or maybe you can ask the question in a chat panel, and we'll be more than happy to answer the questions. Thank you very much.
Avinash, I can see a couple of questions on the chat panel. Let me just read it out if it's not been answered. So the first question was from Mr. Shiji Matthew. What operating system does EWC run on?
Okay, so my screen a couple of slides back.
Sorry,
EWC works on the iOS XE architecture, the next generation 9800 controller switching OS that we have built in on the wireless controller. So it works on the iOS XE OS.
Avinash, do you want to give an answer like what iOS XE is, like what is the capability? I'm sure you would have covered that when you talked about marriage of AirOS and iOS XE, right?
Yeah.
Maybe just a summary. Yeah, that will be good.
Just in a summary, like I mentioned earlier, the iOS XE is our next generation OS platform, which we migrated from a switching platform to the controllers. And with that, we brought in a lot of flexibility. First and foremost, the iOS XE brings the flexibility of high availability. I showed you on the screens earlier how we can patch the controllers without restarting the network. Be it a security update or an AP update, we can do it with an embedded wireless controller because of iOS XE. And secondly, it's completely scalable because it is scalable and programmable. It has open APIs through which you can integrate with an SDN architecture also, or any other solution that you require to manage. It's very, very flexible. And the most important is the deployment flexibility because of the OS. I can deploy this OS on a physical hardware, on a hardware-based controller, like I showed my earlier screen, or on an access point, or even on a cloud. So let me show you that screen just to make it more clear. I'll just go back to my screen where we showed the controller architecture. Just give me a second. Yeah. So like I mentioned, this controllers can now be deployed either, this software rather can be now deployed either on a access point, which we call it as embedded wireless controller, or the iOS XE can be deployed on a hardware controller. And we have a range of hardware controllers today, starting from a controller with suppose 500 APs up to a controller with suppose 6,000 APs. These softwares can also be deployed on a switch of Cisco, a 9500 or 9300 switch of Cisco, which is a part of our SD architecture, can work as a controller and can manage to 200 APs. And this same OS can also be deployed over a cloud, either on a private cloud or on a public cloud. In a private, it can be deployed on a VMware or a KVM environment, or in a public cloud, we can deploy it on an Amazon or Google Cloud. That's the kind of scalability this iOS XE has built in. There's another question which I can see on the screen from Mr. Ganesh Kumar, where he's asking, in the embedded wireless controller, only two APs could be acting as master and standby. So let me answer this a little more clearly, Mr. Ganesh. The good part is, I explained about the Mobility Express architecture earlier. Embedded wireless controller also works similarly. That means if you have 100 APs, first of all, you can have a redundancy up to the 99th AP. Even if the 98th AP fails or the 99th AP fails, the network is still on. The only difference in this architecture that we have built with embedded wireless is, now I can define a master and a standby controller uphand. I can deploy automatically. The APs will elect if one of the APs as master and other as standby. If the master goes by, another AP in the network, the next standby AP becomes the master, and it will elect another AP in the network automatically as standby. Hence, we call it as a master standby AP. It doesn't mean that the failover is only between two APs. The failover is up to the nth AP that you have deployed in the network. I hope I was able to answer the question. Rashna, do we have any other questions?
Avinash, there were a couple of questions. First was on the wireless controller, does it support site survey? So I have answered, and for everybody benefit, I have also given you the link. It's a Q&A session. It's a Q&A FAQ, which talks about in detail. It also, there was another question, what is the key differentiator between Mobility Express and EWC? And as Avinash was talking about, the EWC is built on iOS XE architecture, which is open and programmable. So all the features which comes with iOS XE, which is available on your appliance and the cloud version, is available on EWC. And that's the differentiator between Mobility Express and EWC. And of course, there was a question whether we can have this set up on a virtual machine. So for a virtual machine, it's a 9800 CL controller, which Avinash showed when we looked at the different platforms. And the OS is the same. You can either have a private cloud or you can have a public cloud. Private cloud supports KVM, VMware, ESXi, and hypervisor. And the public cloud is AWS and GCP. I hope that answers all the questions.
There is also a question just now which came from Mr. Ravichandran. Is it compatible with the traditional Cisco AP? So, and Mr. Brijesh also has answered yes with all. Yeah. So the answer here is, Mr. Ravichandran, if you look at the AP's architecture that we support today, the Mobility Express is supported. Mobility Express works on the Wi-Fi 5, which is .11 AC Wave 2 APs, whereas the embedded wireless controller works on Wi-Fi 6 in combination with our .11 AC Wave 2 APs. So yes, it supports your traditional APs, but the support is up to a Wi-Fi 5 or a Wi-Fi 6 generation only.
I think, Avinash, the only exception is the Wave 2 APs can join to EWC controller and they can only work in a CatFab or client serving mode.
Yes, that's the right point. So like I mentioned earlier, guys, Wi-Fi 6, when you look at embedded wireless, it's the Wi-Fi 6 solution architecture. But if you want to integrate it with a Wi-Fi 5, it is possible. The only requirement is you need a Wi-Fi 6 to be there, AP to be there in the network. Then you can add a Wi-Fi 5 AP to build in the same embedded wireless controller to build a cluster. That's certainly possible. So that's the only caveat, that in an embedded wireless controller, Wi-Fi 6 is a mandate to build a cluster. Do we have any other questions, guys? Please, you can unmute yourself or you can add it on the chat panel. I guess Seema has already shared you some details on the FAQs. Post this session, we should be able to share you the recording and some few more inputs on the embedded wireless controller, including the FAQ and some details at a glance, which should help you to understand more about the embedded wireless and the mobility express architecture. If you need more inputs, more details, you can please reach out to us. I'll just enter my email address on the chat panel. And you can also reach out to the Cisco teams, any of the Cisco team members. We should be more than happy to help you to design your network with the embedded wireless architecture. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you, Avinash. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, team.